Bananas!
I have proof that LeBron James actually has a bag. Now, one of the better definitions of what a bag actually is that I've heard so far is having an array of counter moves that you can tap into whenever you're faced with high level defense or double or triple teams. But there's one move that LeBron seems to have mastered more than most that a lot of people have forgotten about. So when you're faced with this high level defense and you see that double or triple team coming, right? You can pass that motherfucker.
He ain't lying. That's right.
Shout out to my boy X in the building, brother. Go ahead and plug in your channel and let everybody know who you is.
What's going on? What's going on? GOAT James Kingdom, the one and only, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much. But yeah, like you guys said, man, AZ Sports. I'm on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. This is something that I love to do. It's a recent passion of mine. I've been at this for a couple years. Yes, to confirm, I do think LeBron James is the GOAT. It wasn't always like that. I'm gonna keep it real. I did at one point have Jordan as the GOAT, but I do think LeBron's the GOAT now. And also, just real quick, King John, man, thank you so much for the introduction, man. That was amazing. But I do want to just say, I sorry to hear about your friend passing, man. That's it's a tough thing to deal with, man. And so I just wanted to say sorry to hear that, bro. But thank you guys for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Indeed, man. Yeah. Also, our condolences to you and your friend's family as well, King John. So shout out to you. So again, King John, you have the gentleman here. Go ahead. You can start off. Ask him whatever you want to ask him.
Oh, hey, when did you start loving basketball in your life? How old were you when it became a passion of yours?
I would say I was around somewhere between the ages of 8 and 10 is kind of when I really just started to like tap into it. And the earliest memory that I have of really when I started, well, there was two actually. One was my dad, my pops, he bought me a video cassette tape. So I mean, that lets you know my age range a little bit, but maybe you guys have heard it. It was called the NBA's Ultimate Player, and it was such a great tape. You remember that? Oh, such a good tape, man. They did the I forget what it's called, but it's like the Da Vinci like body figure, right? And they took each body part, whether it was like the head, the hand, the legs, and they would break down players that they felt excelled, with that body part in that part of the game. So like strong arms, they talked about, David Robinson and Karl Malone. They highlighted the head. They started talking about IQ. So they talked about Jason Kidd, John Stockton, so on and so forth. So that was one of the first tapes that my dad bought me that I can remember. And I watched it. I would watch it as much as I could. And that was kind of like the tipping scale when I really just started to fall in love with basketball.
I appreciate that. I believe you do. I believe you do a great job in explaining basketball. Sometimes I believe we have fans who have a hard time explaining what they're seeing, and I want to know. I mean, were you having discussion with friends or other places where you learned how to really explain basketball? Because I believe you do a great job at explaining. Because I believe you, like, if I knew somebody who didn't know how to understand basketball, I would bring them to one of the pages I would bring them to is you, because you do a great job explaining. I just want to know where you learn how to explain basketball.
I appreciate you saying that. So it's a bit layered. I think it starts with one of the first things that my dad taught me how to play was chess. And growing up and developing that mindset, knowing how to think critically, knowing how to think steps ahead, that type of analytical mindset, it becomes very helpful in other aspects of life. And I noticed that I was able to use my brain in that way when it came to basketball. When I was playing, I was kind of that guard position, and I really took pride in kind of seeing the floor and executing the offense, pacing the game, finding wide open people. And you notice that high IQ players, that's where they excel. So I think that's where it started, the whole chess thing. But after that, it was just research and watching film and studying players, Pistol Pete. I was a big fan of Pistol Pete coming up, Magic Johnson, obviously. And being able to see the floor and break down the X's and O's, I think that really comes with another level of understanding. And not to mention playing against high level players too. Like I've played against NBA players, I've played against D1 players, guys that played overseas. So all of that put together, it really just kind of, in a sense, put my mind in a place where it's not just about seeing highlights and dunks. It's about really understanding the game to the point of the X's and O's, and then being able to explain it to other people that maybe don't understand it quite to that level.
I appreciate that. You answered a couple of questions I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, did you play basketball growing up? And who were some of your favorite players growing up? Because you answered a couple of those questions. So I appreciate you giving that. Hey, once again, I love your explanation, your breakdown of basketball. Uh, One other thing, who was your favorite team growing up?
Lakers, baby, all day. Yes, sir. And that started with Magic Johnson, man, and it started with that tape. Man, when I saw the Showtime Lakers, bro, that it was a wrap for me. I had no choice. I saw Magic Johnson, I saw James Worthy, and Michael Cooper and them, and the way they ran up and down the court, just it was such a smooth, exciting brand of basketball, and I was sold ever since, man. It was the purple and gold, so I'm certified Lakers fan for sure.
I think you
Okay.
caught a couple of people on here all surprised with the Lakers, but I want
Uh
the
oh,
rest of the panel.
uh oh.
I do. I want the rest of the panel to ask you anything they like to ask. And hey, you answered all the
Yeah.
questions. Like I said, you answered a couple of questions that I was going to ask you, so I appreciate that. But I want the panel to be able to ask you anything they want to ask.
Of course.
Go ahead, Brandon. You got anything for the
Yeah,
gentleman?
yeah, I got a few things. So I'm pretty sure you watched LeBron in high school. What did you expect from him when he was in the NBA? Like, how did you envision his game would evolve?
Not this. I'll tell you that right now. I think at most, I knew that he was going to be really good. Hall of Famer, I would even say. I felt comfortable thinking he was going to be Hall of Famer because when you saw his interviews and even the way he played the game, he loved getting his teammates involved, and he spoke very well in interviews. He was young, but you could tell that he was very confident, but he was also filled with gratitude, and those are characteristics that you want to see in a young player. So I knew he was going to be really good, but the greatest of all time, I did not have that on the list. I mean, Jordan had that on lock for me. So to answer your question, I felt like he would be really good to Hall of Fame level.
Okay. And when did you move LeBron ahead of Jordan?
All right, so man, that's a complicated question. So
Mhm.
first of all, I'm gonna do a little plug here. So if you go to my homepage on my YouTube channel, the pinned video there is called "The Moment LeBron James Became the GOAT." And for all of you that are watching, I highly encourage you to check out the video and watch it. Let me know what you think. But basically, it kind of walks you through the process of how I grew up as a Jordan fan, and then I watched this kid from Akron just kind of take over the league, and then eventually I was able to crown him as a GOAT. To answer your question, subconsciously, I knew he was the GOAT after that 2018 run in the playoffs.
Mhm.
I was able to admit it to myself when they won the championship in 2020. That's when I was able
Okay.
to say it out loud and be like, you know what, man, I can't fight it no more. This cat, he's the GOAT. So
Okay. One last question. Give me you're at a cookout for the fourth, and
okay.
some old head come up to you and want to know why you think LeBron's a GOAT. Give me something short and why you think you could explain this to him why he's a GOAT.
Something short.
Yeah.
LeBron James has the greatest combination of peak and longevity that the NBA has ever seen. That's my one-liner. And if people want to, go beyond that, then we get into a little discussion. We keep it friendly, of course, but we get into discussion. We talk basketball, but in terms of just a one-liner, that's what I give them.
All right. Well,
Cool.
since you said that, let me ask one more question. Try my bad. Why would you
everyone-
say LeBron
everyone's
has the
No rush.
highest peak?
Son of a bitch.
I know. Let me ask you one more.
How long do we have you though? How long we have you for X? How long you here for a good 5-10 minutes more?
I can do
you have
five,
to do
5, 10
anything?
minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead, man.
Yeah. Why did you say LeBron had the highest peak?
Because there was a stretch of basketball where he was just, in my opinion, undoubtedly the best basketball player in the league. I mean, you talk about 8 consecutive finals appearances. When you talk about winning championships, that's a team goal. But when you talk about impact on winning and LeBron James is the greatest floor raiser that we've ever seen. So
Not the
that
floor
point in
raiser.
time to where I would say that 2009 LeBron, that's where you saw like the beginning of it, where he was just this freakish athlete. He could just do pretty much whatever you want on the court from an athletic standpoint. When he started to combine that athleticism with the high level IQ and skill, that's where the discussion just starts to really just go south for anyone else that tried to claim he was not the best player in the league. So, yeah, man. So
Okay.
does that answer your question more or less?
Yeah, dude. Because me, I always keep it short, toward more of a shorter peak. I always say 2012 and 13 was like the best player we ever seen play basketball. He's the most valuable player, the best offensive player, and the best defensive player. Even though they gave the defensive player of the year to second team players, the coaches voted him the number one defensive player. So there's no history in the NBA where that was a thing, that one player was the best everything in one year, and he was that back-to-back year. So that's what I use to say that he's had the best peak of all time. But I'll go ahead and kick it over to the other guys.
Yeah. Craig, you got anything for X here before he has to get up out of here?
No, because last time I questioned someone, y'all told me stop, so I'm not going to do it.
Huh? Well, who we did that to? What did we do? Oh,
you talking about Pete?
No, was it Pete?
You talk about Mike Pete.
I said you're just not gonna get into a debate, Craig.
No, I'm
Travis, you got any questions for the brother?
Craig is still mad at Mike.
He really took all my questions. I was gonna ask you when you switched up on LeBron, but your story says a lot on mine, man. I just kind of went on the LeBron wagon where I think but like you said, I just think it's because it's more than just longevity at this point. It's playing at a top 5 to 10 level, arguably, at least statistically.
Yep.
For you consider Mike, let's say default Mike second, right? 11 prime years, arguably. And LeBron is about to do that for 22.
Yep.
To me, it's just if you can't ignore that, call it what you want. But it's just, and he obviously has a lot of the accolades, but to me, it's just too much to just write off to, he's just accumulating stats. Because he's starting, he's playing, he's leading, and it's but my top 5 is I'm taking any of them, so it's not really an insult, I don't think, to Mike. So
no, that's right.
All right, so there was no question there. Before you go, I want to ask you one simple thing. As a guy who has LeBron as the GOAT and a Laker fan, what should the Lakers and LeBron do?
Oh wow. So the puzzling thing about the Lakers front office right now is you can't sit there and say that you're a part of the Lakers culture and not try to win now. That just doesn't make sense. So if you have LeBron James or Luka Doncic on your team, you should be doing everything that you can to win a championship. That's what the front office should be thinking. That's what the players are damn sure thinking. That's what Lakers fans are absolutely thinking. So I think where the front office is struggling right now is they are trying to find a way to balance between planning for the future and winning now, which historically speaking, you really can't do both. So if you're going to plan for the future, then do that and stick with it. And it's okay, fine. We're not winning championships anymore. We're no longer the Lakers. We're just a team that wants to build for the future. But if you're going to win for a championship, then cash in your chips and live with the results. So to answer your question, they have LeBron, they have Luka. They should be trying to win for a championship.
Do you see that? Do you see them doing that? Is that what they're doing? Do you see that's what they're trying to do right now?
Not really. I think the whole DFS thing, that was a tough situation because but it's also a clear indicator of what they're trying to do. They're trying to plan for the future. So if you're going to sign, the Rockets, they signed DFS for, I think it was 3 years, $54 million. So, which makes sense for them because they're trying to win. And 3-and-D wings, they're not growing on trees. And Dorian Finney-Smith, that's exactly what he is. He is a 3-and-D wing, and he is someone who contributes to winning. He makes winning plays. He's a smart player. He's high IQ. He's very versatile. He can guard 2 through 5. So for them letting him go, I understand it because they're planning for Luka. They're planning for the future. But at the same time, when we lost Dorian Finney-Smith, we got worse. Now, to be fair, I think people are sleeping on Jake LaRavia, which makes sense. He's been playing in some low markets, and he hasn't been getting a lot of minutes. But if this is a case where you have to rely on the eye test, you have to watch him play. And I've studied a lot of film on Jake LaRavia ever since we signed him. And I think he can actually be a really good rotation piece for us, heading into next season. And obviously with DeAndre Ayton, we have a starting caliber center. So we immediately got better in that aspect. So I can't say they're trying to win for a championship, but I'm not exactly mad at the moves that we've made so far.
All right, no doubt. All right, well, so again, brother, you know who we are. We are GOAT James Kingdom. I'm A. Johnny. That's my partner, B. Lee, on the other side over there, hiding behind the camera. But either way, We are here always every Sunday afternoon for you. You're more than welcome to join us. We subscribe to your channels. We're subscribed to all your platforms. Again, that is AZSportsX, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. He got his flowers by King John, which, again, we do this every Sunday here on GOAT James Kingdom. And shout out to you, brother, as you have been officially been approved by GOAT James Kingdom.